Fasting till breakfast. Jai. I don't. It's not Ekadasi. Not. Yeah. Yeah. Is it? We'll double check, Maharaj.
What time is it supposed to finish?
8:45, 9 o'clock. By 9 o'clock.
Jaya Vishnu Paramahansa Parivikshaya Asatara Sadhisi Madhuvanga Abhishana in the Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki as co-founder Vivekananda Srila Prabhupada Ki Jaya Vishnu Paramahansa Parivikshaya Asatara Sadhisi Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Kochi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namaskar Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Mukund Radhakund Giri Govardhana Ki Vasura Vrindavandama Ki Navadvip Mayapurdama Ki Jagannath Puridama Ki Philadelphia ISKCON Philadelphia Dham Ki Jamuna Maya Ganga Maya Ki Where's it going? Wherever? Huh? Wishihetan Dham Ki, I mean, Maya Ki, Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki, Bhakti Devi Ki, Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki, Sankirtan Yaga Ki, Transcendental Book Distribution Ki, Transcendental Distribution Ki, Transcendental Cow Protection Ki, Gopamanandi, all glorious assembly devotees, all glorious assembly devotees, all glorious assembly devotees, all glorious to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, glorious to the Prabhupada. So today, we're reading from first canto, 10th chapter, and which verse?
20.
I gave a class yesterday, so let me just check. This chapter is called Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. Yeah. Which verse?
20.
Okay. Yesterday we were hearing Krishna was leaving. There were all kinds of benedictions were being offered by the Brahmins and so on. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Anyanyam Asit Sanjalpa
Sanjalpa
Uttama Chaitasam Kauravendra Srinam
Srinam
Dava
Sarva Shruti
Mano
Mano
Haraha
Maha
Anyanyam Asit Sanjalpa
Asit Sanjalpa
Uttama Chaitasam
Samshloka Chetasam
Kauravendra Purasrinam
Kauravendra-purastrinam
Sarvasruti Manohara
Sarvashruti
Sarvashruti-manoharaha
Anyanyam Asit Sanjalpa
Anyonyamashit sanjalpa
Rujama Shloka Chetasam
Shloka Chetasam
Gauravendra Pura Srinam
Ravindra Purasrinam
Purastrinam
Sarvashruti Manohara
Sarvashruti Manohara.
Sarvashruti-manoharaha.
Any Zoomers like to try?
Anyonyam asiti sanjalpa
Sanjalpa
uttama sloka chetasam
Uttama sloka
Shloka
chetasam
Chetasam
Gauravendra purasrinam
Ravindra
Kauravendra-purastrinam
Purastrinam
Sarvasruti manohara.
Sarvashruti
Sarvashruti-manoharaha.
Manohara.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyayo namasit sanjalpa
Anyanyam
Asit sanjalpa
uttam shloka chetasam
Uttama sloka chetasam
Kauravendra purastrinam
Ravindra
Kauravendra-purastrinam
Purasrinam
sarvashruti manoharaha
Sarvashruti
Sarvashruti-manoharaha.
Manohara.
Gents, any gents out there?
Anyonyam Ashit Sanjalpa
Anyanyam
Anyamasit sankalpa Uttama
Uttama
sloka chetasam
Indra Purasrinam
Kauravendra-purastrinam
Sarvashruti Manohara
manohara.
Sarvashruti-manoharaha.
Anyanyam Asit Sanjalpa
Uttama
Shloka
chetasam
Chetasam
Gauravendra purasrinam
Sarvashruti Manohara
Sarvasruti
Sarvashruti Manohara.
Thank you. Anyanyam
Anyonyam
among each other.
among each other
Asit
Asit
there was.
there
There
was
was
Sanjalpa
Sanjalpa
talking.
talking
Ujjama Shloka,
Uttama Shloka
the Supreme,
the Supreme,
who is praised by selected poetry.
who is praised by
by
selected
selected
poetry.
poetry.
Tetasam
Chetasam
of those whose hearts
of those
of those
who
whose
whose
hearts
hearts
are absorbed in that way.
are absorbed
in
in
that
that way.
way.
Kaurava, Indra,
Kaurava
Kaurava Indra,
Indra,
the king of the Kurus,
the king of
king of the Kurus,
Kurus,
Puram,
Pura,
Pura,
capital,
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 Strinam,
Srinam,
Srinam,
all the ladies,
all the
all the
ladies,
ladies,
Sarvam
Sarva
Sarva
Shrutim
all
Shruti
all
Vedas
Vedas.
Vedas.
Manaharaha
Manohara,
Manahara
attractive to the mind.
attractive to the mind.
Purple by his compound Acharya, his divine grace, Abhishanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. Absorbed in the thought of the transcendental qualities of the Lord, who is glorified in select poetry, the ladies on the roofs of all the houses of Hastinapur began to talk of him. This talk was more attractive than the hymns of the Vedas. Please repeat. Absorbed in the thought of the transcendental qualities
of the transcendental quality
of the Lord,
of the Lord,
who is glorified
who is glorifying
in select poetry,
himself poetry,
the ladies on the roofs
the ladies on the roofs
of all the houses of Hastinapur began to talk of him. Him is with a capital H, means Krishna. Began to talk of Krishna. This talk was more attractive than the hymns of the Vedas.
hymns of the Vedas.
In the Bhagavad Gita,
In
it
the
says that in all the Vedic literatures, the goal is the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Factually, the glories of the Lord are depicted in such literature as the Vedas, Ramayana, and Mahabharata. And in the Bhagavatam, they are specifically mentioned in respect to the Supreme Lord. Therefore, while the ladies on the tops of the houses in the capital of the kings of the Kuru dynasty were talking about the Lord, their talk was more pleasing than the Vedic literatures, than the Vedic hymns. Anything sung in the praise of the Lord is Shruti mantra. There are songs of Thakur Narottama Das, one of the acharyas in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, composed in simple Bengali language. But Thakur Vishwanath Chakravarti, another very learned acharya of the same Sampradaya, has approved the songs by Thakur Narottama Das to be as good as Vedic mantras. And this is so because of the subject matter. The language is immaterial, but the subject matter is important. The ladies who were all absorbed in the thought and actions of the Lord developed the consciousness of Vedic wisdom by the grace of the Lord. And therefore, although such ladies might not have been very learned scholars in Sanskrit or otherwise, still whatever they spoke was more attractive than the Vedic hymns. The Vedic hymns in the Upanishads are sometimes indirectly directed to the Supreme Lord. But the talks of the ladies were directly spoken of the Lord, and thus they were more pleasing to the heart. The ladies' talks appear to be more valuable than the learned Brahmana's benedictions. Shri Prabhupada ki. Om Gyana Chimandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavestam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Sva Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shah Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Visamstam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kansa Radha Kansa Namastate Sapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhan Vishubha Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Vipasindubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gopakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Magam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Lankai Girim Yat Kripa Saram Bande Shri Gurundi Nachayana. One time, Rameshwar Prabhu, he was in charge of the book distribution when I joined the movement, 71. We always used to get the Sankirtan newsletter. It was amazingly detailed. So many temples were sending in Sankirtan results. You know, the small temples, the medium temples, the huge temples, and then it used to be all analyzed, you know, which books and who was the top. And it was just, you know, we used to get this in the mail, the Sankirtan newsletter. Wow. You know, who's the top? Who's the top temple? And so Rameshwar asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, is this Gopi Baba book distribution? Is this Gopi Baba? Father said yes. Prabhupada said yes, it's very spontaneous. As a Harinam Sankirtan book distribution, very spontaneous. It has to be spontaneous. You can't distribute that many books. Prabhupada was amazed. How could so many people distribute so many books? Because that was a famous story of Buddhimatra and Keshava. They pulled in one petrol station. They'd been trying to distribute the big Krishna books. And they're trying to distribute these big Krishna books that just come from Japan. You know, beautiful 2-volume. Each one weighs about kg. You know. Obviously very expensive book, beautiful cover, beautiful plates. And they fill that with petrol. They realize they got no money. They realize they got no money in the tank. I mean, they got no money in their pockets to pay the cars. So we've just got the books. I like this story. It's how the big book distribution kicked off. So I said, well, we've just got the books. We'll try and sell the guy some books. So they went, And it's convinced the guys to take the books instead of money. That's how it all started, the big book this week. So they were elated. Wow, these books is money. We got money, good money for these books. So, and it was spontaneous. You know, they were trying, you know, all their salesmanship and everything. It failed, and when they're up against it, you know, the man gave the money. So there's a verse in the Goswamastakam. Chakva Kona Masesha Mandalapati Shainim Sadatu Shala Bhutva Ganesha Kokaranaya Kopina Kamsashiko Gopi Baba Samrita Binati Kalyona Magnum Ante Rupa Sanasana Agusabo Shijiva Gopala. So yeah, the big ministers like Rupa and Sanatana, they were in the government of Nawab Hussain Shah. Actually, virtually they were forced. Although they were high-class Brahmins, they were very learned. They were the top Hindus. You know, the king wanted intelligent guys to run the government, and the Hindus were the most intelligent and educated everything. And plus, Muslims had to rule the Hindus. It was a majority Muslim country, India, Bengal, and Muslims were a minority. So they needed these people. So that basically they sacrificed themselves. They become Shakir Malik, Sanatana became Shakir Malik, and W. Cash, yeah, his treasurer. So, but they got kicked out of the Hindu culture because they took employment from the government. So the strict caste Brahmins, they're no longer Hindus. So, Lord Chaitanya came to Ram Kelly. Actually, it's an amazing story. I really like this story. You know, Lord Chaitanya nobody knew why he was going to the north of Mayapur. Thousands of people were following him. And he was just chanting Hare Krishna in ecstasy. And it's described like wherever he put his feet, people were picking up the earth, saving him. And it was just like incredible. So amazing, you know. And the Nawab Hussain, he heard about this. Who is this person? He's going through my kingdom. He's being followed by all these people. They're not getting paid. They're not getting paid. They're just following him, digging up the earth after him. He must be a prophet. And Rupa Sanatana were with him, you know. Let's cool it. Keep cool about it, Lord Chaitanya, you know. Because he might attack him. He might attack him. They were frightened, he might call the army or something. But no, it's nobody, it's just you know, wandering minstrel. It's nothing important. No, the king said no. If he's being followed by so many people, you know, voluntarily, he must be a great prophet. So if he's going through my kingdom, then I'm also profited. You know, this is something wonderful. So actually, the Nawab Hussain, I appreciate it, which is very nice. So that night, Lord Chaitanya came at night to Rupa and Sanatana because he knew that they were the ministers. And they might get into trouble. So they came at night and they offered so many prayers, you know. that they wanted to, prayers of surrender, complete surrender. They wanted to surrender everything. So Lord Chaitanya initiated them as Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis. Told us to meet him with them. So they were fantastically rich. You can't believe it. It was like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. And they were like that. They were top people in the kingdom. And they, Rupa went first, and he hid some money, left some money with a stockpile of money. And Sanatana got caught. That's a long story. It's in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's in the Introduction to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Anyway, the point is that Chakratona Maseshala Mandalapati Srinam Sadhatusha. They gave up everything. And the people also wonder how these Hare Krishna devotees, they're giving up everything. They're sleeping in the back of the van, and they're sometimes cold, they don't know where they're going, and they don't hardly have any money. They're following the 4 rules and regulations. And, how can you follow these 4 rules and regulations? Come on, this is life. Meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, toxic. That's what it's all about. That's what life's all about. You got to enjoy yourself whilst you can, right? Life is short. Enjoy yourself. You people, what are you doing? So people can't understand. What are we doing on the street? Jumping up and down. We don't wear fashionable clothes. People wear the most amazing clothes, beautiful clothes. We saw the one the other day. Amazing clothes. It got on silver bracelets and everything fantastic. They change their clothes every few weeks, the latest fashion, latest shoes. Sometimes people are 20. We went to somebody's house. I couldn't believe it. He got 30 pairs of shoes. Amazing. 30 pairs of shoes, and that was normal. He didn't think of anything of it. And devotees have one beaten up pair of Crocs. They've been wearing for the 10 years. The same old dhotis. We wear the same clothes, saris and dhotis that we've been wearing for years. We just, when they get old, we throw them away and we get new ones. We wear the same decorations, same beads. Yeah, it's a very simple life. And so like Rupa and Sanatana, they gave up the opulent life. Yeah, and their families also. I went to see their family house. It's in north of, hold on, it's just on the Bangladesh border. Oh no, Jeshore. It's in Jeshore, it's within Bangladesh. That's where they used to live. And they have deities of Revati Balaram, Krishna Balaram. They have deities. Prabhupada never says what happened to their children and all that. It's never explained. I've often wondered what happened. Did they just give up their kids and wife? I really don't know. Anyway, they become Babajis. They went to Vrindavan. So how could they do it, They're living under a different tree every night and writing the books. It's totally amazing. Right. Budvag Dina Ganesha Kokaranaya Kopina Kasi. In order to benedict the fallen finished souls, they shall be loincloths, kopi, a simple cloth, and Babaji cloth, white cloth, and not even long like this, short Babaji cloth. In order to do the Gopi Bhava Rasam, because how could they do it? Gopi Bhava Rasam because they were always merged in the ecstatic ocean of the Gopis' love for Krishna. So that's how they were announced. That's how they were so announced and so ecstatic. So when Rameshwar asked Prabhupada, he said, devotees are doing incredible things. Like on Christmas Day, they're virtually going out 24 hours and, you know, finding all kinds of ways to distribute Krishna books. We were on traveling Sankirtan in UK. It's a nice story. We had a van, we were sleeping on top of the books. We were the first traveling Sankirtan in UK. And we had the Krishna books, the small Krishna books, the blue ones. And there were 3 in a packet, a cardboard packet. I don't know if you've ever seen those. They were very attractive little books. And, you know, we had many adventures, so many adventures. And of course, we didn't know where we were going. Prabhupada Vishnu was in charge of Prabhupada Vishnu Das. And I think Janananda was on the party, Devadatta, and Rajendra Kumar. Rajendra Kumar had a big black body. He was from Malaysia. And he used to focus on middle-aged marriages. I don't know why he did that. He thought it was easy to sell the books to them. And, but they were scared of him. And when they were sold the book, you know, they were out of fear, more or less. And then they used to ring up the police. There's a big black man in town wearing robes. The next thing we used to know, the police car come out. What are you doing? Where are you from? Get out of town. We had to move on. But then Prabhupada Vishnu wrote a letter to Prabhupada. Prabhupada Vishnu wrote a letter to Prabhupada, explaining we were on the first traveling Sankirtan, we're going all over, we're not sure where we're going or what the reception will be. And Prabhupada was so happy. And he wrote, yes, he said, yes, Sankirtan movement is so nice. Although you're engaged in so much austerity, sometimes we have to take bath in a cold river, sometimes we have to sneak into the university shower rooms, and sometimes we get run out of town, and you know, we have to cook in the back of the van, and you know, we're not sure where we're going, and we run out of books, that's a problem. And Janananda used to be, I think he was with us for some time, but then he used to send the books out by train. We used to go to the station and pick up the books. We used to send our scores in to Janananda Maharaj, and then he used to report them to Rameshwar Sankirtan newsletter. So it was going on like that. Prabhupada wrote the letter, he said, yeah, he said, and yet you're going through all this tapasya, but you think it's fun. It's just, what's the word? It's not just, he didn't say fun, but you think it's, anyways, it's like a game to you. It's a game to you, Sankirtan's a game. You're having fun, enjoying. So this tapasya is greater than the yogis in the Himalayas who performed austerities for thousands of years. He said that this Sankirtan tapasya is greater and it's more amazing. This is not official tapasya. This is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya initiated Rupa and Sanatana, and they become transcendental situated, absorbed in devotional service. So they were so happy to be connected with Krishna and feeling that I'm a servant of Krishna. Jivara Swarupa Krishna Nishita Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami met Lord Chaitanya in Varanasi, Benares, in India. And he was a Muslim mendicant. Apparently he was a Muslim mendicant. Lord Chaitanya got up and embraced him. Why is Lord Chaitanya embracing a Muslim mendicant? And they were both crying because Sanatana, he is Vishaka or Lalita, I've forgotten. But anyway, after 5, in this lifetime they were meeting for the first time. Well, no, but they met in Ramkelly. Anyway, so then he shaved his head and everything, came very renounced, and then offered prayers. They call me very educated, very powerful. Quite frankly, I don't know who I am. I don't know who I am. What am I? What is my purpose in life? What is my goal in life? So without that, we're just lost. And Budvadina Ganesh, and people are just lost. Oh, I should have brought that book. Hey, you want to get that book? Somebody gave us a book. There's the key. You want to bring that book? Show you an amazing book somebody gave. You will be surprised. What was his name? Daniel Black. We were distributing books on Harinam yesterday. I'm doing Harinam. And Vedran met this strange person. It wasn't so strange, he seemed quite straight, like maybe an office worker. And then she said, oh, well, I'll take you. You take my book, and you take my book, and I'll take your book. So Vedran went for the deal, and he brought this book. People are suffering so much because they have no goal in life. The David is Fatikatimi Vishnu, the Rashaya Vahyatama, Andaya Tanda, Upaniyamana, Tepisha Tamjiyam Urdamiva. They're bound up by the modes of nature. And they don't know that they're suffering even. And the leaders are blind. It was interesting, I thought, because I was often going on to see the news on CNN, the American news. And I thought, let me look at the Russian news. Find out, what they think. Have you ever done that? RTV, Russian TV. And they have a completely different version of what we think about Ukraine war. And they think it's true. So what is the truth? The real truth is birth, old age, disease, and death. That's the real truth. There's no other truth. Everyone's just fighting over stolen property. So this guy, the book of the ultimate. Dun, 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 dun. The book of the ultimate. Page 1. Book of the ultimate. You are here now. You are here now. You are here now. This is the ultimate. 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 Just goes on and on. It's a nice book. It's bound nicely. You are here now. This is the ultimate. I think the BBT should start producing these. Oh my God. Anyway, it goes on to the end. You are here now. This is the ultimate. You are here now. You are the ultimate. Oh my. It's a mirror.
Beautiful.
People are suffering so much, They don't know the goal of life. It is beyond this kind of ultimate that I am this body. They think I am this body, like the dogs and the cats and the fishes. I am a worm. I am a tree. I am a bird. I am the ultimate. That's what the people think. So what does that mean? Condemned. I'm going to die. I'm going to get old. I'm going to get disease. That's the ultimate. Just see how much suffering I have in ignorance. Budvadina Ganesha Kokarana Kopinaka. Budvadina Ganesha So the Sankirtan movement is Lord Chaitanya's mission. He wants us to do this service. At the same time, he's giving us the highest taste. Anapita chiram chira karanaya abhitana kalo samapaja onatushvala rasam sabhakti shriyam hari paracha sundara duty kandapa sadipika sada hridaya kandare furtova sachinam. In all, Lord Chaitanya appeared to taste the spontaneous love, Ritushvala, the highest rasa of the gopis. Because he, at the same time he wanted to spread the Sankirtan movement. Two reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. So he's given us this legacy also. We join the Sankirtan movement. And we also taste the spontaneous joy of Hare Krishna. So it's so nice. At the same time, we're spreading the Sankirtan movement, we're pleasing Prabhupada, our spiritual master, distributing the books. At the same time, we're getting a taste of that nectar for which we're always anxious. The soul is always anxious for nectar. And in this particular world, we like Daniel Black. Daniel Black, poor old black guy. Was he a black guy? No? Anyway, I don't know whether he was black or white. He's called Black, Daniel Black. But the main thing is that we're teaching, we're not this body anyway. We're transmigrated to many, many bodies, many species of life. Now we've got this human form of life. We've got sufficient intelligence to read these books, Prabhupada's books and other books. And these books are not just, it's not just, I was saying yesterday, it's not just Prabhupada mentions the Vedas here. The Prabhupada also says sometimes, the Bible, the Quran are also Vedas. Because they know something about God, they're teaching something about God, the service to God, the prophets of God, the sons of God. We're learning about God, but only in the Vedas, in the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavad, are we learning about the personality of God, the specific person. And Vedascha Sarve Aham Eva Vedyo Vedanta Krit Veda Evach Aham. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15:15, Sarvasya Cham Vidisani Visto, Mata Smritim Jnanam Aponam Cha, Vedascha Sarve Aham Eva Vedyo Vedanta Krit Veda Evach Aham. I am seated in everyone's heart as a super soul, even the worm and the fish and the bird, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. And by all the Vedas am I to be known. I am the compiler of the Vedas, and I know Veda as it is. So all these Brahmins who were offering these prayers, benedictions to Krishna when he was leaving for Dwarka, and the very sophisticated Sanskrit prayers. But the Mataji's on the roof, the ladies on the roofs, they were just in love with Krishna, and they were just looking at Krishna directly. So this is more pleasing to Krishna because it was spontaneous. It wasn't, ritualistic. It was something from the heart. Devotees were doing they were saying from the heart. So Krishna must have been looking at them. So Srila Prabhupada has given us all this, because Prabhupada was spontaneous, totally spontaneous. How could he have spread this movement without being spontaneous? He went to Butler, Pennsylvania, they couldn't understand. The yogis, Riverside, couldn't understand. But the young hippies, they were desperate, They're desperate for looking for some nectar, for the taste of the nectar, for which it was a taste of the nectar, LSD, taste of the nectar, illicit sex, taste of the nectar, all kinds of things. But they couldn't find it. They were dead end kids. Young people were dead end kids. They give up everything, the parents, the education, and still they couldn't find it. And then Prabhupada came, and he was serving them chapatis and prasadam and chanting Hare Krishna. And the devotees realized, this is it, we found it. We found it. And they're so happy. Starting to dance in the park, Donkey Square Park. So this is the Prabhupada's gift to us, or Chaitanya's gift. So what we have to do is just, we have to, how do you say, run with the ball. How do you say that? You got the ball, you run with the ball. Huh?
Keep the ball rolling?
No, in football, when you've got the ball and you're going to shoot the goal, you just have to go for it. This is our life. We have to shoot for the goal. Go back to God. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, we're still in time. I think prasadam is getting cold, but time for 4 minutes of questions. Or 9 o'clock. I was inspired by the book distributors coming here. You're distributing books, huh? Yeah. And I was inspired by you coming. Talking about book distribution. We do book distribution on the Harinam also. We don't concentrate on it, but the books go out. Huh? Sorry? We don't count them. Any questions, please? Yeah.
Just thinking sometimes when we're out Sankirtan, it can be very like mode of passion, and especially like you get one result or you get another result. And for me personally, sometimes I can feel like not satisfied, like I'm not doing well or I'm not getting a certain result. So I was just wondering, how do we break that kind of mood or that mode of passion?
How to break the mode of passion? Well, the fruitive desire. Yeah? I mean, you want the results.
I want to do something of value. I want to like feel like I'm going out on books and Krishna is pleased with whatever I do. But sometimes if you don't do books, or maybe you like are not able to connect to people, you just feel unsatisfied.
If you don't do books and you can't connect, you don't feel satisfied. One thing Chipra used to say, if you just get out the door, it's a success. You can get out the door. And you can also start that. Do you do Harinam also? Huh?
Sometimes. Not always.
You could always do a bit of Harinam before the books.
Yeah, there is no loss.
There's no loss.
Just 3 hours suffering, then you do Harinam.
Yeah.
More benefit.
You only have to carry some cartels and then get out of the mental platform, and with the Hare Krishna mantra. Plus others are also infected. It was just, I remember when we were, because that was a George Harrison days, it was easy to make devotees. When you think about it, it was 71, 72. Yeah, and we had to open a center in Manchester. And I used to have a packed lunch and magazines. So I'm not a hero, but I used to go up and down the main street, the cartels first. Break the ice in your own heart, break the self-consciousness. What are people thinking of me? Mental platform, doing kirtan up and down the street, and then I used to stand at the crossroads and people used to come up to me and say, "What are the magazines?" It was easy to distribute magazines after I'd done the kirtan. Because kirtan is so powerful, cleans the heart. quickly. Book distribution is great, but sometimes it's difficult, like you say, get turned down and you get on the mental platform. But kirtan is, because it's also passionate, but you have to be passionate also. The karmis are passionate. So, books are the big madanga. So the books are going all over the world in that way. But the Maha Mantra is going, it's blanketed. Nobody can avoid it. That's the wonderful thing about the Harinam. Nobody can avoid hearing. They can't block their ears. It's too late. If they block their ears, it's already gone. Damage is done. So I just think it's a good idea. Either sit and read Prabhupada's books for a few minutes, get inspired, or do some kirtan. People may think you're crazy, but we're not. They're crazy. We're not crazy. We're doing the highest welfare work. We're doing the highest welfare work for all humanity. We should be sure of that, because people are dreaming, and they're thinking birth, old age, disease, and death is the ultimate. This body is the ultimate. It's completely mad. So much suffering, condemned to death. But we have somebody giving them life. Either the holy name or the books, prasadam, we're giving life. So everyone should go on Sankirtan. We should all go on Sankirtan. This is the best thing. And be happy, And if the books are getting difficult, do some Harinam. Sometimes I also do book distribution. Someone else is leading. I try and distribute the books. Go behind the Harinam party, and people are happy. Oh, what was that? You give the books more easily when there's a Harinam. Don't you know that? We were with Narayana Nirada. He gave an example. We were with Narayana Nirada in Columbus. And we were doing Harinam down the main street in Columbus. And he told me, he said, when the Harinam is on the street, it's like fishing. You know fishing, when you're fishing around? You hook fish, you have a float, and you have some bait, you're fishing like that. But he says, when the Harinam's there, it's like putting dynamite in the water. And all the fish, they just float up there. He said like that. It's an amazing example. It's a very cruel thing to do. Just drop the dynamite in the water. And all the fish are like stunned, So imagine being a fish, dynamite goes up. You just float up. He says it's book distribution is like that. You're just picking them up, picking up. He said that Narayana Nirada Prabhu King. Srila Prabhupada King. Okay, is that good? Krishna. Vande Krishna Nanda Kumara. Nanda Kumara, Madana Gopala. Nanda Kumara, Madana Gopala. Nanda Kumara.
Start behind. Katina samsare. Hare Krishna devotees, thank you for tuning in today for today's class with Maha Vishnu Swami Maharaj. I'm very ecstatic these last couple of days being with him and the Harinam Ruchi band. I hope you've all been inspired by Maharaj, his kirtans, and his words of wisdom. So we'll see everybody tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Very much inspired. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Haribo.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Leave it.